It's your great character today.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Great Character Podcast, episode 11. I'm back. I'm hosting again, and we're just going to have a good time, aren't we, boys?
Hopefully, yeah.
So today we're just talking about England's starting lineup we want to see at the Euros. Obviously, there could be a lot of changes in that time with injuries, with form as well. I know that Nathan's probably going to want to throw Jay Lings in the mix, but I don't really want to hear.
I was going to do the thing, but I don't want to do that on camera. I don't want that against me.
And then we'll also talk a bit more about internationals and the Gerrard, Scholes, Lampard debate, where we all sit on that fence. So yeah, let's just crack on. Like, obviously, there's been a lot of football going on. Champions League, the last date's done. Nathan's very happy because Chelsea breezed past the last night.
Like work. Chelsea now owns Spain officially.
Oh my God.
Nathan needs a little crown with the Spanish flag on the front.
Yeah.
Your face is nearly as red as Spain.
Spain red. To be fair, it's kind of. But yeah, Rudiger as well. It's like old Diego Costa. It's brilliant. Perfect performance.
Oh God. It was a hard game to watch because I've been watching Champions League games loads since the Porto Juventus one last week. That was absolutely insane. I watched that whole game. It was brilliant. The best football I've seen all season. I loved it. And I thought, I'll watch all these other Champions League games. Maybe the one will pop out of the blue and be incredible. And they've all been
crap, weren't they?
So boring. Yes, the other day I watched Swansea Bournemouth, and that was boring. And then I've watched Champions League games and Chelsea Atletico. Like I said earlier, Chelsea boring, but they're effective. It's not great to watch.
I just haven't had that feeling in ages, actually winning in the Champions League. It feels weird. I don't know what to do. Obviously Europa League, but that's pretty dead, isn't it? You know.
That's one thing as a Liverpool fan. I would rather we go full blaze, go for the Champions League, win the Champions League, or get Champions League football somehow, whatever way, or drop to 10th so we don't get any European football.
Europa League is a hindrance. Like, unless you have a big squad like Chelsea did when we won it, it is just a hindrance. Like Liverpool, they'll just get injury after injury. It would be mayhem.
It would be a nightmare. But now let's get into. It's been a big debate. I've had this debate with a lot of people, like the England 11. The problem is I've got a very different 11 to what I think Southgate will choose.
I think I've got quite a controversial one in goal. I think Jordan Pickford has to start.
Yes,
he's done nothing wrong.
I agree.
He's done nothing wrong in England.
Agree.
He's a legend. He killed Van Dijk and he saved those penalties.
That's not why I'm saying put him in the team.
And he's just sick.
I agree with Pickford in the sense that Pope recently has made a lot of mistakes, but not been. If that was Pickford making those mistakes, the media would hammer him. Pope has made mistakes against Arsenal, Manchester City, other clubs too. He's not been that great recently. Dean Henderson hasn't played enough this season to warrant starting for England either.
And he wasn't that great against AC Milan. He had nothing to do. And
he will be. He will end up being a great keeper, and he probably will play for England and start. But right now, I don't see why any of those budge Pickford because he's done nothing wrong for England.
He's been sick for England.
I'm very surprised you, Harry, think that Pickford should start. And I'm guessing, Matt, are you shaking your head because of what happened in the derby?
Well, there is that, but I also think there's this slight problem that Jordan Pickford's, what's the word I'm looking for? Bad. He ain't good enough to start for England. He makes too many mistakes. I know you were saying that he hasn't made too many mistakes for England. That's probably fair enough, but it's got to be based on what he's done for his club.
No,
when you make a mistake, when you let the ball in and you're then just holding it and you just laugh at him.
Yeah, but then if we're looking at recent form as well, right? I don't like what Pickford did, right? For Liverpool fans out there, I hate him for that. I hate him for that, but this isn't about that. This is for England and whether I'm on form. That's why I'm taking it from that angle. So no hatred for that right now. Basically, Pickford in recent games has been pretty good when he's played. In his recent forms,
against Chelsea was good, but he gave away a penalty. That kind of sums him up.
And Pope hasn't been that great. Although Pope turns into the best keeper in the world when he plays Liverpool at Anfield, he always does. He's not been that great recently in the Premier League. And Dean Henderson, I'm going to say again, hasn't played enough. and he's made mistakes too. No, 3 of them have been perfect this season.
I just think
So I
Jordan
think you might
Pickford
as
has
well
the
stick with Pickford.
ego to be an England goalkeeper, whereas the others don't. Like, he loves himself. Like, in the big games, like
He
against,
loves
like,
playing for England.
yeah,
He takes
he
ego
loves
to
him.
the
Yeah,
top,
yeah.
He loves himself, and when he plays with an ego, he's actually sick.
If he's on his day, I'd argue. Could you say Pickford on his best day is better than all 3?
Yeah.
All the others.
Yeah.
On his day.
Mm.
It doesn't
I don't
always
think-
come, but he's got little arms, right? But he has made some big mistakes, right? He has.
You can't guarantee that he'll have his
But-
best day enough. Yeah, you make too many mistakes.
On his day, he is the best out of the 3 of them, I'd say. Pope's close because they're all pretty good.
But he's not great with his feet either. Like, Pickford's the best all-rounder.
Yeah, that's
but
what I was
Pope-
going to say. I'd put Pope in because I think he's the better shot stopper. But in terms of all-round game, I think I'd trust Pickford playing out the back more, which we'll get onto the other parts of the team in a bit. But I am playing 3 at the back because I think Southgate will, and I think playing out is going to be quite important in that. So
I also don't think Dean Henderson.
I do want to say one thing. As long as you're not putting Maguire in defence, because if you're talking about using your feet, right, Maguire's shouldn't be in that defence if we're talking about using our feet.
Well, we'll get onto that.
Oh.
I don't think Dean Henderson should get in the squad either. That's what I'm saying. I think
Oh,
Carl Darlow.
no. Dean Henderson, he is a great keeper. He should be in the squad.
But Carl Darlow's sick. Or Sam Johnston. They're both
We've
sick.
actually got
Sam
some phenomenal
Johnston's one that
options.
is really tricky because
He's
Sam
gonna be-
Johnston's been very good.
He is good. I like him. Lewis will know about him at Villa.
Before Heaton got injured, there was a shout for him. He saved us a lot of points last season.
Yeah, I know.
And
He
obviously-
was ahead of Pope in the pecking order at Burnley as well.
most certainly, yeah. So I think we're so lucky to have so many good goalkeepers that I don't think Ramsdale, Johnstone,
He's not very good, is
Heaton.
he?
I don't think any of them will sort of trump the other 3. So I think
No.
it's,
That's a bit harsh on Aaron Ramsdale. He's all right, and he can
Yeah.
make some great saves as he
Mm.
proved against Liverpool, but he's not somebody that will. He's not an all.
No, he's not in the top
He
5.
makes too many errors.
Yeah.
I think, like, if you're saying Pickford makes too many errors, like some of these other keepers may. I get that's the only thing is the errors that Pickford has made, but I just don't think he'll make them for England.
I just think in a penalty shootout, I'd back him over anyone out of all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
one of the hardest positions. I feel like with most positions other than centre back, with the right back, you can put any of the right back choices in and we'll be all right. In Cam, you can put most of the Cam choices in and you'll be. There's not as many arguments, but keeper's the hardest position.
That's most scrutinised, isn't it? So
It's so, yeah, because if an error happens, it leads to a goal. And I said this to Chris Kirkland yesterday. Errors, the reason they're scrutinised is because the smallest errors could have catastrophe. Whereas if you do that on somewhere on the pitch, you misplace a pass, it's not noticed as much.
yeah.
Do you think that when a keeper makes an error in the Euros, for example, this summer, do you think if Pickford has one bad game, you bring in Pope the next? Because I don't think Southgate will do that because he obviously has his favourites and he doesn't want to.
That's the one thing Southgate, that's the problem I have with Southgate. Though. He
Yeah.
has his favourites.
Mm.
Like, he doesn't like Jack Grealish.
he doesn't really do it off merit.
Although
He does
Jack
just do it
Grealish-
off his experiences.
Jack Grealish has proven over this whole season that he should probably start for England. Yeah, he probably won't because Southgate just doesn't like him. He has his
And Maddison.
set ways. He will do his 3 at the back formation. That's not the formation I'm using, but he will do it. Like,
Anti-football.
just-
He'll park the bus against Czech Republic.
and the players England have is just they're good enough to win the Euros. They have the players, and if they're managed correctly, and Southgate gave great memories to so many English fans a couple of years ago.
And shocking ones. Semi-final.
That was all Kane's fault, though, wasn't it?
I'll take that. I'll take
sold
Kane being the blame.
dreams, really. We were sold dreams, really. And
It's just so annoying.
in
'cause,
hindsight, it just wasn't as good as what we all thought it was.
I
It
don't.
was still.
Nah,
Like,
I
I'm
don't.
not
I
even
hate
an England fan. That's the thing. I'm an England fan, sort of, with football, but I'm still a Wales fan.
when
But
they're doing well.
even I was having
ship.
even I was having the time of my life with my mates.
No, it was a brilliant time. 2018 was the best summer of my life.
I was in Napa.
The
right? And I
weather, the performances, it was good. But then
And
in
Love Island.
hindsight, we, came up against a good team, came up against Croatia, and we just,
I just
died.
don't like
You're telling me Sweden aren't a good team?
Panama. come on. Put some respect
Panama.
on Panama's
Jesse
name.
Lingard made Panama look like Panama, all right? It's
Yeah.
hard to do that.
Yeah.
No, but I think we've spoken about the goalkeeper now. So right back, I think it's the hardest, but in a way,
I'm
I
not gonna
wouldn't
lie.
have qualms with anyone if you pick different people.
I
we
just
could
think
all
with
pick
right
different
back,
centre-backs.
all of them don't deserve to be in a spot. Like, it's weird. Like, Trent hasn't been that great. Kyle Walker barely plays. Reece James plays at right wing back. I just think and
I'd still
Wan-Bissaka's not great
go-
attacking.
I personally still put my faith in Trent.
Me too. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
still the best fullback.
I'm going
now.
Reece James.
Oh, yes, there you go. It's the bias is
Best
coming back.
attacking and best like best all round right back, I'd say.
But the only thing I'd say about that is Reece James is good, but he hasn't. Trent's one thing is doing his best performances, and Reece James hasn't done it for that long.
Just wait for the Champions League final when he whips in the cross for Tammy Abraham.
I'm gonna wait, and I might not put this podcast out, or I'll get this clip in a few months' time if Chelsea gets knocked out, and I'll just say and wait. But the only other one is the problem is Kyle Walker. Will he play him as a centre back, or will he go as a
Yes.
right back? That's the thing.
I don't think he'll get in the squad.
He will get in the squad.
No, he hasn't been in the squad, most recent squads.
No, he was in the last one.
Was he?
Yeah.
Trippier as well. He's been pretty decent. Like, he wasn't that
yeah,
bad yesterday.
So,
I was
yeah,
gonna
he
say-
plays Trippier as a left back, but then we've got 2 left backs, so we don't need Trippier as a left
Yeah,
back.
but Shaw wasn't in the last squad, and since then, in that last few months, he's
He's
like
turned into
really
Roberto
cemented.
Carlos.
Yeah, he
Shaw-
cemented himself as
Right,
a
okay,
starter.
we'll start that one. Shaw,
Yeah,
are we all
definitely.
agree that Shaw's the left back?
100%. Chilwell has to be number 2. I don't want to see Maitland-Niles at left back. I don't want to see Saka at left back. That's not their best positions. You know what I mean? And
No
when
one
you've
made
got
the nose
two-
anywhere near the squad, to be honest.
No, I've omitted him from my squad completely.
Oh yeah, I don't think I'd even thought about him.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
But the right
Yeah.
back, anybody saying Wan-Bissaka, that's the thing.
No.
Would
He can
get
play
on
the centre back,
plane?
though. If he does a free back, he can play the right centre back, maybe.
Would he get on the plane?
No.
I
He's
don't
good
think
enough to go on the plane.
I think he is.
Did you think it'll just be? You don't think he is?
No, I think he is.
Yeah, he is good enough.
But there's such a glow into a right back.
I just think he could play the right centre back. Like, I think he is good enough. He's better
He's the
defensively than
best
Kyle Walker.
defensive fullback, and
In the
Oh,
league, yeah,
well.
without a doubt, yeah.
like
But he's limited when it comes to attack. I know his numbers look quite good, but is he going to do it enough?
he
And
looks like.
obviously-
This sounds so harsh, but his limbs go all weird when he's attacking. He's
No,
like
no,
throwing them
yeah, I
everywhere. And his
I just love when he did that
little-
Ronaldo chop, but he like didn't chop anything.
He's so awkward attacking wise, but he's so brilliant.
It's weird because he used to be a winger.
Mm.
He's so brilliant in defense. Like if you put him right, if you think about it, Trent's passing, Wan-Bissaka's defending, and James's crossing.
Pace.
Or pace. That's it. Yeah,
Physicality.
Trent's crossing and passing, James's pace, and Wan-Bissaka's defense. Best.
We got
fullback.
Reece James.
Yeah.
Oh, go away.
Yeah, maybe not go of all time, but
Right. So who are we agreeing on? So
Trent, I'll give you
Matilda
Trent.
say Trent.
Yeah.
Grant.
Are we going
Well, I
for
should
Trent?
start.
Trent.
I think for this international break, obviously we've got Trent now done. I think Southgate needs to experiment with the 3 right backs in this international break because you don't want to take 3-4 right backs to the Euros. You need 2 at most.
The
It's
reason
a team full of right backs.
I think I spoke to somebody
Yeah.
who said they might not even want Trent in the squad, right? The one thing I'll say to that is, why wouldn't you even take Trent? Because number one, he plays right back. Number 2, he could go in midfield if you really need it. Do you not think? If you
I
really
thought-
I mean,
need a
that won't
midfielder,
happen,
he's
but-
creative enough to go in the midfield.
You know, wait, why does everyone think he's going to play free back? He hasn't played free back in ages since the World
He
Cup, I
will.
swear.
I think he will. He has played 3 back.
He's played 4-3-3 in the last few friendlies.
Yeah.
But in the Nations League games against like Belgium and stuff, he
All the
was
bigger
playing
ones, he does go
3-5-2.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But he just
Mm.
plays 2 DMs. It's so depressing to watch.
When you mean 2 DMs, you mean Henderson and Rice.
Yeah.
Henderson
then-
isn't a DM. That's,
Yeah, but like he
that's the
plays as a
frustrating
DM.
thing.
It's just like it's so rigid the way the 4-5-2 whatever it is plays.
That's the thing.
Like,
that
there's no
Henderson
flexibility.
Henderson can play box to box. He can attack. They can push him further up the pitch. That's what he did for Liverpool last year. And one of the reasons we won the league was because Henderson went to his trusty position further up the pitch, right? And that's why he scored more, assisted more, was a better all-round player. That's what he could do for England. But now I think
But the formation is too rigid. Like, there's no movement off the ball. Harry Kane's rigid. Obviously the fullbacks and defence are rigid, and the midfield's rigid. I don't like the 5-2.
What formations are we doing? What formation are we doing?
4-3-3.
4-3-3.
4-3-3.
So the two centre backs, I'll throw mine out there. Stones has to start. Don't want to hear anything else.
I think so.
And Michael Keane.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Well, I've gone 3-5-2 because that's what I think Southgate will play, and I think we need that sort of defensive cover. And I think it would be good to let the wing backs sort of burst forward and then have that cover with the two DMs, Royce and Henderson. So I'll spawn my midfield there. But I've gone Stones, Keane, and Maguire. But I just couldn't bring myself to put Mings in there because he's a liability. I watch him every week, and then I don't want to see him just stink out the Euros. And I also think it's too soon to put Konsa in the team.
Maguire.
He's still young.
I'd rather have Walker at centre back than Maguire.
I just don't know who the other centre back is. Like, they're not great, really.
I think he's
besides
trusty.
Stones.
I think he's trusty, Maguire.
I think Stones and Maguire is not going to be great.
You got
Maguire's
Keane in there as well, though.
Maguire
yeah,
had his
Keane.
moments, like against who did they play last week? Man United, West Ham. He was good against West Ham, but
He was
that's
good
when he
against
can
City, wasn't he?
And he was all right against City, but he just makes so many for an 80 million centre back. I reckon that's the only reason Gareth Southgate plays him sometimes.
I think
But he
he's
was
a
good. He
presence,
was
though.
good in the World Cup, and for Leicester, he was good.
Yeah,
Like, you can't forget he is decent. It's just
He's
like
all right.
he needs to play with a fast centre back because he is a
But
slouch.
if we're going to Man United, I bet you most Man United fans would rather have Bailly and Lindelof as a pairing than Maguire or either of them together with Maguire. I think those two centre backs are better than Maguire.
I think Bailly's sick, but I don't know who's a fast centre. Konsa. I'm just going to put him there.
It's a shame
You
that
actually think
Gomez won't
he's
be
fast?
fit.
Konsa's quite fast.
Is he?
Yeah, Conser's rapid. He still hasn't been dribbled past. I don't think.
I know
this
who.
season.
We haven't heard Matt's yet, but I think I know who one of his. Are we just doing an all Brighton back line?
Yeah.
Who are you going for, Matt?
Well, go on then. Who do you think I've said?
Dunk.
And Stones.
No, I hadn't said Brighton. No. I haven't.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Duncan Stones or Duncan White.
Who have you gone for, Matt?
No, Stones and Maguire.
No, I'm going to go Stones and Maguire. They were pretty good at the Euros.
Oh, God.
They're just most established.
Euros World
aren't they, I
Cup.
think.
Yeah.
I'll let you have that one. I just don't like Harry Maguire.
Bukayo Tomori.
I know
Milan.
why, but
I just don't think he should start for England. I think there's so
Bukayo
many
Tomori?
better centre
I'm going to
backs.
think with Michael Keane.
Do you not think Michael Keane's better than Harry Maguire?
I think
Better
he's
with the ball,
close,
isn't he?
and Harry Maguire gets in because of his seniority in the team.
And he is. No, he's not.
Stupid.
Regardless of
another
what
thing-
we think, he's the first name on the team sheet. Southgate. He isn't even going to debate it.
Do you
Yeah,
know
do
one thing I want to say? Does Harry Kane deserve to be England captain?
Yeah.
No.
No, he doesn't, does he?
Who's the alternative?
Jordan Henderson. That's not even because I'm a Liverpool fan.
No.
Harry Kane has shown recently with some of the things he's done, he gets away with so much. Like, look, what he did against Arsenal, where he ran across the player and nearly elbowed him in the face, and he got nothing. And he did another couple of cheeky fouls. He gets away with so much.
Yeah, but at Spurs, he is the main leader.
But he doesn't. He's not that much of a leader.
Did you watch the Spurs
His
documentary?
understanding is brilliant now.
I just don't think he's a great captain.
No.
He's
I don't
not a
like the
great
idea
captain.
of a striker being captain. It doesn't sit well with me that Aubameyang. They use the term lead by example, don't they? I don't like it. I think your captain should be in the middle of the park. Maybe defence. I think defence is fine. So they can shout down the pitch, because I think strikers do what they do, attackers do what they do. But the players that are prone to the errors and, losing your games, it's the midfield and defence. And I think Henderson's the most dependable, the most adaptable. And I think,
He's a
sits
brilliant
in the
captain.
middle.
I
Dishes
just
out the
think
orders.
England do have a lot of captains, so you can be a captain without
Maguire
having a
isn't
captain
a very
armband.
good captain, right?
I think
No.
he's underrated as a cap. Like, he gets a lot of hate as a captain. He's not that bad.
Because every time he comes out after a game, he always moans, right? He always moans when after a game. Doesn't matter how much. I'm not even just saying this. Henderson will come at him. If it's been a really, really awful decision and he's the right to moan, he will come out and maybe say a couple of things. But other than that, Henderson is very real, right? Maguire comes out. He's the classic Man United captain. Comes out and blames everything. After the West Brom game where he was offside for the penalty, he basically blamed Klopp for the reason that Man United aren't getting penalties. No captain does that. Should do that anyway. He shouldn't have done that.
Bruno shouts at him all the time in the game as well.
Yeah, Bruno's more of a captain than
He has
Harry Maguire.
no respect. Well, he does, but he doesn't have. He isn't seen as the leader of the dressing room. I think Bruno is.
No.
Bruno wears the pants in the changing room. That's what it is.
Bruno is annoying, though.
Yeah, he's annoying.
We're not going to talk about Bruno again, are we?
No.
We all
We
know.
managed to do it every
Bruno.
podcast.
But Harry Maguire, okay, he'll go in the England setup. Fair enough. He'll go in the starting lineup. And maybe I'm being too harsh on him, probably because I am a Liverpool fan. But I don't know. I think he's got a turning circle of a tractor. He's not that quick. He's got a good noggin on him. I'll give him that. And he can sometimes drive up the pitch. But I just think for 80 million as well, and he shouldn't just get in the team for just getting in the team's sake because of who he is.
I just don't think England have very good centre back, so you may as well just pick him.
I think Michael Keane is good enough to go in that starting lineup.
Yeah.
I really do.
I think if we play three at the back, I think Stones and Maguire's now done. If you're throwing in a third, has to be Michael Keane. I don't want to see Mings. I think you can go with three right-footed centre backs. You know, they will have a left foot. We're all good. But I think we were going to speak about a few first-time call-ups from the squad and some omissions. I think doesn't he drop his squad at 2 this afternoon? Something like that. I think
Jude Bellingham might not get in it now.
Why?
Because Dortmund have changed their COVID rules, so he might not be able to leave the bubble.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
I left him out anyway, I think. But I think Stones has to be called up for the first time. He weren't in the last one. I think we need to see
Tomori.
Konsa. Do you know
He's
what?
starting well at AC Milan. Genuinely. He's been decent at Milan.
I haven't watched him enough.
Second in the league, and he's been
second in the league, not because of him though. They were top of the league when he joined.
Yeah, no, but still, performing in second in the league.
It's true though.
That is good.
Yeah, but he has been good though. It hasn't been his fault that they dropped off either.
I know.
I think
they were good against United, Milan were.
Yeah, he was good against United as well, and against Roma, he was sick.
I think there's room for him because Gomez won't be in this squad.
You do need a pacey
I'm
centre
just
back.
saying now, if Gomez was fit, Stones and Gomez would be the starting centre back.
Absolutely,
Yeah, I agree.
absolutely. I think Cody won't be included in this one as well. He was in the last.
He's not had his best run of games.
No. So there's 2 places there, and do you know what?
You do need a pacey centre back in your squad.
Sorry?
You do need a pacey centre back in your squad or something.
You do, because that is the new modern centre backs are quick. I don't think Stones is that slow though, is he?
I saw him outpace Aubameyang, so
exactly. You need somebody. The reason Liverpool was so good is they have 2 centre backs that can just float around, are so quick.
You can play a high line with it as well. If you play Maguire and Stones, you can't play a high line.
There's a video.
Will just get caught out.
There's a video of Gomez and Van Dijk charging across. I think it was either Kante or I can't remember who it was. Kante. Oh no. It was Willian. Willian was going through, and they both just come across either side and get the ball. It's so fast, and it's just like Gomez is so quick, and you need somebody.
You just need a fast centre back to play a high line, and to play a high. Everyone plays high lines now, so
it's just why City are doing all right because they got quick centre backs, they got high line, they can get back. That's the thing. If England want to play a high line and they're playing 3 at the back, Walker has to start.
Yeah,
because he's so quick at getting back.
I think he'll be on the plane. Well, on the plane. It might be in England.
On the bus, on the train,
on the train,
in a party.
I think he'll be there, guaranteed. And good depth, isn't it? I think Dunk and White will be really unfortunate to miss out. And I'd like to see them called up, to be fair, this afternoon.
I'd rather see White than Dunk. I know Dunk's better right now, but I just like the way Ben White plays.
Yeah.
Personally. Right, shall we move on to the
midfield?
Shall we move on to the midfield then?
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to get criticised, I reckon, for mine. So I'm playing Declan Rice in the holding role.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing Henderson box to box next to him. And I'm playing Grealish pushed up just behind the striker.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that what you said?
Exactly the same.
That's
what I
pretty
thought.
much.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, this is where it gets a bit like tricky because we've got different formations. But I have like the 3-5-2. I have the three midfielders. I've got Henderson. I've got Rice. I've got Foden at cam, and I've still managed to squeeze Grealish in. What I'll do
I
is
just don't think Grealish can play. Like he doesn't. He plays left wing or like left wing for
But
Aston Villa.
he doesn't
He can't
play normal left wing though, does he?
But can
No,
he
no.
He
realistically
drifts
play
inside.
a centre
Exactly
mid
right.
role though in a 4-3-3?
He's a creator.
Yeah, but can he play in that role?
He can play as a cam.
Is it a cam or is it a
Further
centre
up-
mid?
yeah, it'll be further up the pitch. He's not going to sit back.
I have him at left striker. Now I know that sounds weird, but I feel like we can alternate. I think we can. I think it's a very like sort of adaptable and changeable formation. I feel like Foden can drift out to the right. Harry Kane can go in the middle. Grealish can go on the left. Because at the World Cup last year, we played Sterling as a striker. Obviously, he drifted wide. Sterling isn't in my team because I think he's been poor this season, but that can change. And I
still think he's the best
Foden.
left winger we have though.
You
I
think?
don't know for England. Like at the World
Yeah,
Cup,
for
he didn't
England,
score a
yeah.
goal. He wasn't great at the World Cup.
Yeah, but since then he started scoring for England again, and for City, you got to remember the World Cup was 3 years ago. Like it wasn't recent. It was 3 years ago, and since that World Cup, Sterling's been unreal in the Premier League and pretty good in the Champions League.
But I just think we won't create as many chances as Man City will we? And he needs a lot of chances.
Well, you say that, but it depends if Kane plays like he does for Spurs, then we will. And Sterling will score goals. If Kane plays like he does,
and Sterling is better than Son, so
drops in, pings it about. Depends how he plays him. But yeah, that's my midfield. I think Grealish. I've always said, I still always prefer Grealish in the centre attacking midfield role than on the left wing.
I
He
agree.
doesn't play a conventional left winger.
That's
I'd
right.
rather have a conventional left winger and him still in the team because he can float around that whole area. The best football teams, they interchange positions, they float around.
but that doesn't happen in Southgate's England.
Yeah, but with
they're all
Grealish
rigid.
in there, I
It
believe
is rigid.
could. Grealish can do that.
I don't know if that Southgate would allow that.
No.
He
Is
likes-
is it really harsh to not include Mount? I find it really hard. to not
Then
include him.
I put Grealish and Foden in front of Mount, but Mount is brilliant.
I think Mount is. I keep on saying all-rounder, but out of all of them, I think he is the best all-rounder. Like he can do everything. Like he can press
but Foden
better
is
than all of
just-
them.
A team of all
Foden's
rounders.
incredible though.
Wait,
Foden's.
do you have Foden in the front three?
No, he's on my bench.
How can you gas Foden up and then?
Because
not
there's so
include-
many other options.
Yeah.
I'm going to say my midfield. I'm going to say what you call it, Rice. Obviously, there's no way Rice can't be in it, and then probably Henderson, I think, and then Foden. I'm going to go Foden.
Jeez,
Yeah,
me and Nathan agree.
that's what I mean. There's no argument there. Like if you put
Okay.
Foden in, so that's the thing. Oh, it's tough, you know. Though
I just don't know if I trust Grealish in a centre mid role, even though he's playing further forward. I just don't know.
Yeah.
In fact, when you watch him for Aston Villa, though, Lewis will know better than any of us. He definitely drifts inside. Definitely, he doesn't play
that's his
on
thing.
the left wing.
But
Driving.
doesn't that probably helps him more because he starts higher up the field, and then it allows him to drift.
Would you
As
not
a centre
like
mid, he
that?
can't drift in anywhere. He's just already in.
Yeah, but if you have Grealish in the team, you can have him drifting and floating. And then if you have Rashford or Sterling on the left, you got that pace.
But
and
he
that
also may
real
need.
drive.
He also may not be as expressive because he may feel like he needs defensive duties if he's playing a
Well, if
free
he's
centre
got
mid.
Rice and Henderson next to him, I think he could be expressive.
No, but
I think he'll be fine.
okay,
But yeah,
that's fine.
But no, I
I'm
think
sorry, I didn't mean to shut it down like that.
no. There's games where he's isolated on the left, and it's when we let him take that free role and come in the middle. That's when he's best. And I think since he's come out the team, we haven't utilised the number 10 position, which I've said on Twitter for a while. Barkley's been useless.
He has been.
Jacob
I've watched him
Ramsey-
since you said it last time. I've watched Barkley and he's been very disappointing.
It's really disappointing. So I think Jack will be really important to the whole team. I think he's a must start.
It depends because the problem we have now is it's quite similar to when Nathan put him on the left wing against for our last.
Jack Grealish isn't in my team, by the way.
Huh?
He isn't in my team.
Who, Grealish?
Yeah.
Isn't.
Isn't. No.
You really don't like Grealish. Hang on.
I like Grealish. I think
weird.
Grealish is good.
But you didn't.
I put Grealish in my team this season, left
No,
wing.
didn't you put Gundo?
Yeah, but I put Grealish left wing. That was a whole debate.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can. Grealish isn't. The one thing is, though, Grealish can play other positions. He's
I
not
know.
a left winger, though.
That, like, I'm just saying in the team of the season thing, when he starts up on the team
Yeah,
sheet,
but when
he
it
is a left
came
winger.
to Gundogan or Grealish, you chose Gundogan. And now
Yeah,
I
Gundogan
think, to
has
be
been better.
fair, since then it is Gundogan, right? I think Gundogan does deserve it. And
Yeah.
well, it's
That's
so
how it can
hard.
change week by week, innit?
Grealish is brilliant, but he's been injured. So
Yeah.
like, it's like you haven't even won. So
He's still got better numbers than Gundogan. But, you
well,
know,
Gundogan scored like 12 goals in the league now. Is it or 13? And that goal the other night, he's just, I don't know.
You know what? Get Gundogan an English passport and give him the team.
He's only played for Germany, sadly.
who do you think? I've got one player in mind. What centre attacking mid needs to be called up this afternoon, do you think? Nathan, I'm looking at you. I think Jailings has to be called up, you know, and I think Maddison needs to be in it as well. I think we need to settle. Right, who's going to be our attacking mid?
Harry, you can't deny it.
Wait. Jesse Lingard has been brilliant, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying
He's merely rocking his way to the Euros.
Jailings has been very good. But the amount of talent we have in that position and the fact that Lingard's literally been playing since the end of January, he can't be in the squad yet. He hasn't warranted it.
What?
Not yet.
Right now, he's been better than Maddison. Right now, he's been better than Maddison.
Madison's been injured.
Yeah.
So that's
Exactly.
why.
Exactly.
I should
He's been
say
better than Grealish.
Grealish isn't going to be called up this afternoon. He's still injured. So there's a space.
I
for
think there's a lot of
Jailings or
opportunity
Maddison.
for players.
Maybe
There's been a
for
lot of
this
injuries
squad.
in this squad.
Yeah, it's a good
In this
Maybe
squad.
for this squad.
In this squad, there's been a lot of injuries, so there's quite a lot of opportunities for other players.
I think it'd be a great shame not to include him and just give it a go, and then to see if he performs well in England, performs well the rest of the season. And then we can find the
If Jesse Lingard
Do we
scores,
take-
I don't know
Oh,
who we're
no,
playing. Who are we
managed.
playing?
How the hell has Jesse Lingard managed to get back into our England plans?
He's a good player.
Don't
He's a
forget,
good
it wasn't
player.
too bad at the World Cup as well. Do you remember that?
Harry, you said it earlier. Remember the Panama goal?
I think Jesse Lingard is funny, and like he is one of those players. Like although he is a Man United,
He's just a meme player, but now
He
he's
is.
good. I don't really know how to react.
Remember the other day when Johnny Northcross talking about being really serious and professional on Twitter, and what's Nathan's last tweet about Jesse Lingard? He goes
Being a
Ollie
bit of a
out
squad.
because Jesse Lingard was dropped by United.
Look, that is my personal view. All right, all my views are all personal.
So what's the midfield we're actually going for then?
Because I didn't give you Grealish last time, I'll give you Grealish now. Just so I don't seem as a Grealish hater to all those
He's
Villa
a
fans.
striker for me.
Striker.
Sticky. Yeah, I told you because I'm doing what we did in the World Cup last time. Sterling, Grealish is like playing the Sterling role.
Grealish can't play the Sterling.
No, but as
He's
I
not
said,
a
it'll change.
Yeah, but he can play
into a
centre forward. He
4-3-3.
can play in that floating, like.
But I thought, well, most of us are doing 4-3-3. So what formation are we doing then?
Oh, we have to go
4-3-3.
4-3-3, but I just spiced it up and said what I think he will go for. And in fact, what I'll do is I've actually got it up here on an image. I did like a squad builder. I'll send it to you. You can whack it up on the screen, get a better idea.
The tactical mind of Lewis Sweeney.
Mate.
To be fair, it does sound like you put a lot more thought than I have. I'm just kind of making it up on the spot.
I'm by no means a tactical
I've
mastermind,
had this
but you know what?
debate.
It's probably poor, but
I've had this debate 3 or 4 times in the last week. So I've literally had this team in my head. And I'm looking back and I've probably gone too harsh on Maguire, but that's just because I passionately don't think he should be in the England team.
I passionately hate the guy.
No, I've got nothing against the guy, right? Because if I'm a professional journalist, I can't have anything against anyone like that. So that's not what that agenda was about. Just saying that.
Get that out. Just clear the air between you and Maguire.
Me and
Squash
my
the
fellow
beef.
Harry. Me and my fellow Harry.
what we saying for the front three?
Well, there's one
Rashford.
staple.
Kane and Sancho.
Who'd you say on the left?
Rashford.
I can't drop Sterling there.
Oh, yes, you can. I'm
No.
sorry. He is not a
He
must-starter.
needs to be in the. He needs to be in that team.
Oh, he has to be on the plane of the train, but
No, he needs to be in that starting 11. You can't do what you've done for City and then be dropped.
What have you done for City
What's he
recently?
done for City? That's exactly what I was going
Still,
to say.
okay, maybe this season he has, but the potential and the quality that player
But
possesses.
for England, he's never, unless it's against like Montenegro.
Rashford's never really done anything for England either.
That's why we had a more team. I haven't got Sancho or Rashford because
And
of my bloody
Sancho.
formation.
Yeah, no, but Sancho hasn't really had a chance, has he?
He's had
I
a poor
actually
season, though.
said I want Rashford.
No, he's been
as
alright
my-
recently.
He's
I
been
want-
good recently, yeah.
He was poor at the start, but now he's been.
I
picked
want
up.
Rashford as
Yeah,
my
yeah.
left.
But I
wing,
don't think
right?
Sancho won't be in the squad because of the Germany protocols and stuff like that.
This squad.
Yeah.
But Rashford, I want Rashford on the left, but I want
Is-
Sterling on the right.
Is there no room for Saka?
Nah.
Not a starting 11.
Not
I
yet.
think it's too
Matt,
soon.
what are you?
isn't it?
Matt, what are you thinking?
I'm going for Sancho on the right and Sterling on the left, just because, like Harry, I really want Rashford in there because
I just like Rashford. He's like one. He just deserves it.
Yeah, but the only problem with Rashford is one of his best roles is when he's left wing and United is sitting deeper and they ping a ball across. That is when he's got the space and he can.
But I think
drive
he
it.
could link up
He won't
better.
have that for
I think he
England.
could link up better with Kane than Sterling could link up with Kane.
I don't think.
Absolutely.
I
don't
think he is more similar to Son than Sterling is to Son.
Yes.
So I think there could be more of a
We're at a
connection.
divide then.
I'm
So
really
three
backing
players.
Nagel
So
out. That's-
Sancho is on the right hand side, right? Three
Yeah.
out of four of us have said that.
Have you got Sancho in your team, Lewis?
No.
No,
I've
I
really
don't.
dropped a bollock with my formation, But you could play him instead of Foden because obviously my cam is basically a right winger. So yeah, you could play Sancho.
So
instead of
it's the left wing, Rashford or Sterling. Could be the.
It's Lewis's decision, I suppose. He hasn't got either.
Who doesn't have either?
Well, I've got Grealish in the left wing role.
Oh, Van Green.
This is
He's
difficult. Right,
Cam.
I'll tell you what.
What's in the
Forget
middle?
my team. My team's dire. We're gonna go for the 4-3-3, and I'm
What
saying
about Dyer
Rashford.
left wing?
Right, Matt. Help me fight this corner.
Dan Burn.
Dan Burn left back.
Right, there you go. Dan Burn left wing.
Yes.
Sorted.
Thank you.
That is our final team.
There we go.
Dan Burn.
See you next week.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. No. Come on, Matt. Help me out here. Why should Sterling be in that first 11?
Yeah, but because he's playing in a team that's tearing up the rest of the league.
Is he tearing it up? What's he doing in that team?
He's still scoring goals.
Consistently getting in that team, which is brilliant. So if you can consistently get in that,
But everyone gets in that
Then he
team. It's
should be
rotating like every game.
the England team, shouldn't it?
Okay, then, if you're talking about rotating every game, that means Sterling hasn't played as many as somebody like
Okay.
Rashford who plays week in, week out, unless he's
Okay
injured.
then.
Right,
We
shall
should
see?
probably take into consideration the chemistry between Shaw and Rashford and how beneficial that could be.
You're winning,
International
and
football's
I'm hurt.
tricky because they're probably like they don't gel as well as what
You
they do at
see,
the club.
Sterling hasn't had a great season. He's still scored 9 goals in the league and got 5 assists. It's not awful. It's just he normally bags 20 even.
I just
Then
think
it
he
isn't
misses
great.
so
and
many
he's even worse
chances.
for England.
But
Yeah.
Rashford's not got that many more.
You know, he's got 9 goals in the Premier League.
Who, Rashford?
Yeah.
So they're exactly the same. So they're exactly the same, and you're
Yeah,
saying.
but I'm talking
they're
for
out.
England. I think Rashford is more effective for England than
Well,
Sterling
that's
would
not
be.
what you were saying before. You're saying Sterling hasn't torn it up, but then surely
Well, he hasn't torn it up either. But Rashford's never a goal scorer. Sterling is. That was one of his main traits.
I don't think it was one of it. It didn't used to be. Everyone's just made it become that because he got
Yeah,
better at finishing.
When he got good, when he was at his best, he was a goal scorer. He just got himself in the best positions.
But he's also great with running at defenders, cutting inside, that right boot, curling one in.
When has he done? I can just think of Bournemouth and
He's done it
Southampton.
loads. Last season or the season before, the amount of times he cut in on his right foot and bend one to the bottom.
That was 2 years ago.
He still did it. He didn't do it once. He's done it
Okay,
a
that's
number
fair,
of
okay.
times.
But Rashford's just a baller. He's just good, Rashford.
Yeah.
Should we do rock, paper, scissors?
All right.
Ready?
Actually, no, I gave you Grealish. Come on. Over Foden.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I gave you
Yes.
Maguire. I gave you Maguire.
But everyone had Maguire.
Everyone had Maguire.
other than me.
You can't deny Slabhead.
Because of your
Slabhead's getting
agenda.
on the plane.
How many strikers do we take to the Euros? 3?
Yeah.
Which ones?
Harry
you.
Kane.
Yeah.
All of them are pretty crap, to be honest. Like, realistically.
Calvert-Lewin.
What?
Oh, yeah,
No,
Calvert-Lewin, I forgot him.
Martins.
That's the thing, though. I've looked at Calvert-Lewin recently, and my cousin, who's an Everton fan, like I always say on these podcasts, I'm just going to call him Sam. So Sam, he hasn't been liking Calvert-Lewin that much recently. Maybe I got that wrong, but I know from the Burnley game
He does play with quite a lot of arrogance, I think.
If he gets in the area and you get a ball on his noggin, he's scoring, right?
He's going to cry out for creativity, and I don't think Rashford can provide that. In all fairness, he isn't going to be
Is
starting.
Sterling, though?
He isn't going to be starting.
Can Sterling, though?
Yeah,
Is Sterling creative?
Yeah.
Does
He's
he just
more
play?
creative
Does
than
he just
Rashford.
play in a
He's
team
more
that creates
creative
so
than
many
Rashford.
chances?
he is more creative than Rashford.
You've
I'd
got an
say.
agenda against Sterling.
I
'Cause
like
think
Sterling.
Rashford's good.
I just think Rashford's better.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Sterling still isn't in the team because DCL ain't starting. So Viva la Rashford, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, okay. So my three striker choices.
Remember,
are-
Harry,
go on.
the Lings Rashford link up when Lings is starting in centre mid.
Mate, no, don't even
Do you
do
know
that to me.
This is looking like an all Man U team,
This is like the 2017-18 Man United team.
mate.
With Mourinho
I
as
know.
manager.
What a team.
Throw Wan-Bissaka in there.
Oh,
Really, you
Get
know.
Tuanzebe as centre back.
he's actually a decent centre back. Like he gets
He's
so
class at
much
Villa.
hate, which is so sad. And he's actually not that bad.
No, he's all right.
Do you think
But-
Abraham goes
No,
on the plane of the train, Nathan?
no,
No.
doesn't play enough. He's our third choice striker.
Abraham's
Ooh.
career at Chelsea's done if they get Haaland.
He needs to come to the Villa.
West Ham or something. He'll be
Please
fine.
Come to the Villa.
There you go,
Is,
Villa.
right, so I'm going to say DCL and Ings as my other strikers too.
Ings.
Okay.
Patrick
Yeah.
Bamford.
Sorry.
Patrick Bamford.
I
Oh,
know
you-
you're joking, Matt.
You're not even you hate Leeds.
I know Matt's joking. He does not like Bamford.
Yeah, but I
That's-
put Raheem Sterling in the team and I hate Manchester City. I also put Harry Maguire in. I hate.
Are you actually saying Bamford then? Because I'm saying Bamford. Maybe not for this summer, but I think he must be called up this afternoon and given a chance.
He's
I
injured,
think so.
isn't he?
I agree.
He got
No,
injured
he's
in the
back.
league.
He's
Chelsea.
fit. He's
Oh,
fit. He's
brilliant.
fit now.
Gotta give him a chance. We've got
No,
to
he's
nail
fit.
it down.
Nathan, he's fit for these internationals.
Is
now.
he okay? I thought
Although-
he means he's in the team then.
I would be a bit concerned that we've got 3 really similar strikers.
Right, boys,
All big,
boys.
tall,
We're
tiny.
forgetting the master of all English strikers.
Watkins?
Andy
Not
Carroll.
Solanke.
Oh.
You see him for Bournemouth the other night.
I think we're going to
Beautiful.
say Liam Brewster.
He's
Should
amazing.
we just take the under-17 World Cup winners because they're all old enough now, and I mean they've won us a World Cup. So
Foden and Hudson-Odoi.
I'm keep saying us, right? And it's
Harry,
like,
you're English.
I'm Wenglish.
English.
Don't
That
you
doesn't
dare.
sound right.
No, that anything.
Well, I'm
Don't
Welsh.
wanna be
but
associated
I
with
still support the English in the football. That sounds so dodgy. Right, do you want some proof that I'm from Wales, right?
All
Where
right.
do you think I'm from? My family.
The UK.
I don't know anywhere in Wales.
My family's from Clanbar, Pushwingate, Gorgeric, Wind, Robert, Cancilio, Go.
That's getting clipped up. Wow. That we're using that as the promotion for the pod. If you want to
I
see
don't know
how
if I said it
is,
properly.
wow.
Clanbar, Pushwingate, Gorgeric, Wind, Robert, Cancilio, Go. Yeah, I got it right.
Are you from
I don't know if I can. I don't know if that's right or not. And I
No, it
can't
is
correct
right.
the
So it goes-
pronunciation.
Sounds right to me.
It goes Clan, Vair, Push, Wingate, Gorgeric, Wind, Robert, Cancilio, Go.
That's impressive.
Yeah, fair play.
Fairs.
Come at me now. I don't know any other Welsh, but come at me now. My family's from the Welshest part of Wales.
Is that the
Actually from
longest?
there? Wow.
It's the longest train station, yeah, in Anglesey. That's when my dad grew up. So I think so. Should we go for our England team now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got Who are we going in goal? Pickford.
Pickford,
We didn't
yeah.
actually clarify that. Pickford in
Pickford.
goal.
Crossing my fingers while we do that.
You're gonna make Matt cry even more.
Yeah, you are.
It's like me with Maguire, though, so it's all right. So Pickford in goal, Trent right back,
Yeah.
Shaw left back, Stones and Maguire.
If we're playing a 2, yeah. If we're playing a 3,
We're
who else
playing
is
a 4. We're playing a 2 at the back. If it's a 3 for me,
Keane has to be dropped in as well.
Keane, yeah.
Yeah, cool. But we're going
Take
for 2.
Maguire out, put Walker in.
Could do.
Anyway, we'll just list through the formation now. So it's 4-3-3. So
Yeah.
Stones and Maguire. Then Rice, Henderson, Grealish.
Yeah.
And
Getting the left back.
I said the left back.
Who's the left back?
Sure.
Oh yeah, sure.
Then left wing, Rashford, Kane, Sancho.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
We've had a few differences, but that's what we've come up with, all right?
No,
Everybody
I'm
that's-
happy with that,
Everybody's watching this podcast.
We've got
You never comment, you never like, so it's probably like it's bother saying it anyway. But if you do watch this part of the podcast, I'll put something on the Instagram. See what you think.
comment for 10 years. Good luck.
Comment your opinions on our team and say what changes you would make. So now, staying in the international football theme, we're going to finish off with our top 5 international teams of all time. Now, I have to admit, I completely forgot to make my list. So this is all going to be off the top of my head. So I'm going to let the other guys speak first.
I'll let Matt go first because
We'll let Matt go first because
Yeah.
he's probably Matt and Lewis are always the most prepared for these podcasts.
what?
Oh, Nathan, come on. We don't even write anything down.
I've got a Word document open here.
You actually?
Yeah, it's got nothing on it.
I was going to say share your screen. But yeah, so Matt, take it away. What are your 5?
All 5 straight off.
Go on. Go for
All
it.
right, okay. Well, Brazil 1970, Spain 2010, Hungary
It's knocking down your
1950,
door after that.
Hungary when?
1950s.
Is that with Puskas?
That's with Puskas and there's a couple of others, isn't there? Yeah, they beat
Yeah, I can't lie. I only know Puskas.
France late 90s, and then
Yeah.
just because I wanted to put it in England 66.
I've got.
Oh.
I'm thinking all of those besides.
Yeah.
Netherlands.
Nathan's
Netherlands.
like, Nathan doesn't know them and he's just going, yeah, all of those ones.
No. No. Actually, no. Not Hungary either. I'm going France now.
All time.
Yeah, France now,
Ooh.
and then Netherlands 1974, 1978.
Oh, you've got it up on Wikipedia. You're looking at 1974 Netherlands, aren't you, on Wikipedia?
I'll share my page. I've just written something down.
I'm joking. But so you think France?
Yeah, France now. Yeah, like just think of the team they have.
Yeah, but they haven't won enough yet.
They got to the
I mean, they
Euro,
are world champions, to be fair.
and
They're
they
world
got to
champions,
and
but
they
they-
got to the Euro semi-final.
Most
No,
of
final.
them win worlds, and I guess maybe they were world champions, but yeah.
All the other teams though are my list. So I've got France. I've got France between 98 and 2000.
That's,
Yeah.
That's where they won
With
the
Dan
World
and
Cup.
Thierry Henry in that.
Yeah, and the Euros.
and the Euro.
Yeah, they won both.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I would
So-
say.
If France win this upcoming Euros, then yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're up there. But
Realistically,
just have to wait another few months.
just
I
look at
think.
their team as well. Look at the team now and look who they have coming through. I think they could dominate for years.
Imagine that France team let Benzema play. He's their
Lacazette.
best
Mbappe.
striker.
Yeah.
Giroud.
Euro. Shame for
The
losing it.
only one I'd say is really different for me. I'd say France 98. I'd say France 98 all the way through to 2006 because they made the World Cup final in 2006 but lost to Italy. So I'd say all the way through that whole 8-year period. And then I'd say Spain 2008 to 2012.
They were the best. No, they were probably. I can't say about Brazil 1970 because, funny enough, I don't know too much about it. But the Spain
That
2008,
Spain team
2012.
is arguably alongside that Brazil team,
I think so.
I saw
greatest of all
Down
time.
everywhere.
And then, so that Spain team, then the Brazil 1970 team, and the West Germany team of the 70s as well. I'd go with them, with
Like
Beckenbauer.
I think Netherlands, like they were so good, like they didn't win anything, but they're remembered as such a sick team, which
They were, yeah.
speaks volumes, I suppose.
I'd say maybe even they were up there.
Yeah.
Didn't they win? They won the World Cup in the 70s.
Who did?
Germany.
I'm talking about Netherlands.
Oh, I was talking about West Germany.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise Nathan was talking about that.
I said like Netherlands, they were so good, even though they didn't win anything.
Yeah, they
Which
were.
shows how good they were. And Cruyff as well. That was like prime Cruyff.
Yeah. So I'd say Spain, France, Brazil, West Germany, and don't know. The last one's tricky.
Panama 2018.
Ooh, Costa Rica 2014.
Yeah.
Respect Keylor Navas.
Oh gosh.
Legend.
What am I listening to?
Now mine are
Brazil of
France.
2002 were pretty good as well, but I'm not going to put them in there. I don't think.
I got 2 France, Brazil 1970. Who else did I say? Netherlands, and there's another one. Who's the other one? Spain. Yeah, Spain.
Argentina. No, the one that won those World
I
Cups.
just couldn't do it.
Well, they weren't a great team.
They just had the best player
They
ever.
just had the best player in the world by a mile.
Yeah.
So
He was
won that.
drugged up
That's
to
the
his
only thing I'd
eyeballs.
say, England fans, and the one thing I'd say to, is it Peter Shilton who was
Yeah.
goalkeeper that day? Always moans about it. Moan. Yeah, I
Mind you.
get it, right? It was a hard time for him. Even when Maradona died, that's all he could talk about was the hand of God. He hadn't let go. That's how sad
That's
that
poor
was.
taste.
And he didn't even let go of it, right?
You
You've
know,
got to remember, he arguably did the best World Cup, scored the best World Cup goal of all time in that game as well.
Sheridan Shaqiri's over a kick.
Through that England team and scored.
yeah.
That was unbelievable. I think that takes away the pain of the, not the pain. I don't really care personally,
No,
but like,
well,
I think that takes away the hand.
He's
of
really
God.
supporting it.
It was that good, that goal. That good. I'm going to put it up on this podcast. It was that good.
Bueno, lo marcan dos, pisa la pelota Maradona, arranca por la derecha el genio del fútbol mundial, y es el tercero a tocar para Borruchaga, siempre Maradona, genio,
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, in the future, do you think will be some sick teams? Because I think England have a good shot. Like this England team now.
No,
Not like the best team ever.
It will fall short. And number one, it doesn't have the right manager in Southgate. Although he's not done anything to be sacked. He's done nothing to be sacked. So we'll end up keeping him. And we might do all right at the Euros, but we won't win anything under him. And it's England. So that England team had superstars, right? And that didn't have the right manager, and the team didn't.
Who was the manager?
Sven-Goran Eriksson. And
Oh yeah.
so now, top 5 overall. Let's do that. Out of the ones we've listed, what is going to be our final 5?
Brazil and Spain have to be there, I think.
Brazil and Spain.
France.
I didn't say
France.
mine, and I had loads
Who
of
are yours?
research behind them.
Who's
yours
number
is-
1? Is Spain number 1 or Brazil number 1?
Spain.
I just want to hear
number one.
Lewis's first. Lewis, what are yours?
Right, I'll quickly run through them. I had Germany 12 to 14, semi-finalists at the Euros, spanked all the teams in 2014 World Cup. They're closer as well. Who won the Golden Boot? I went for Hungary, 50 to 56. They were banging. Oh, they went on a 4-year unbeaten run, and then I had like loads more. Like
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll have those in mind then.
And then
Yeah,
I
probably.
found this out. They beat England 6-3 at Wembley in 53, and that's the first time they ever lost a home game to a non-British or Irish team. So I thought that was quite good. I went Brazil 94 to 98 because, yeah, they were mad. They won the World Cup, won Copa America, and then they were finalists at the next World Cup, which was decent. France 98 to 2000, and then Spain 08 to 12. I think Spain are now done number 1, aren't they?
You don't have Brazil
Spain-
97? 1970?
No, I took a similar approach to you. Like, I can't remember what I had for dinner last night, so I ain't going to pretend I know anything about football like 50 years before I was born.
But you just
I
put
tried to
Hungary in there.
bar Hungary. I tried to keep it relatively recent. Mate, I've got, like, no one else put like 2014 teams in there. Well, Nathan went mad and put one like 12 months ago. But
Yeah,
Right, France. France is fair
yeah.
enough.
Right, should we go
that
through
was
in,
really recent.
in fifth? Who are we putting fifth? Hungary, do you reckon?
Yeah,
I'm happy to put Hungary
because
fifth.
they didn't win too much, but they were dominant.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Right, so we've all got different ones here. I said West Germany in the 70s. Nathan said the Netherlands. You've said Germany 2014. And who did you say, Matt?
That was a bit of
England,
rubbish, yeah.
96. It's 90.
Yeah.
I just think Netherlands was so like they didn't win anything, but they're
I
just
think
remembered as a
Germany
sick
out of those,
team.
I think the West Germans of the 1970s were the best out of those 4 teams, though.
Yeah, that's probably. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
They were
I'd put them
dominant.
number 4.
Okay, so I'm winning here again.
They had Muller as well. What a legend.
The second
Before I
best
said
Müller.
good striker.
Third, France 98.
Yeah,
To
Yeah,
2000 are we going to 2002 or 2006?
2002. I think that was their peak.
Yeah, but then even in
2002
2006,
France.
they nearly won it in 2006.
Yeah, but what happened in 2004?
Zidane got himself sent off.
Oh, in 2004 they got knocked out of the Euros
Yeah.
group stage, didn't they?
Yeah, they didn't do great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I think the only reason 2006 was so good was because Zidane was just on a personal mission to do something on his last tournament, and then he did.
2000
He
and
headbutted someone.
In 2002, did they get knocked out of the group stage?
Not 2002, 2004. I don't think they did well.
No,
that's
no,
when
no.
Greece
Against
won it.
Senegal. They lost to Senegal in 2002 World Cup.
I thought late 90s was their best days.
Yeah,
they won the World Cup
1990. Oh wait,
final.
no, sorry, yeah, 1990 to 2000. That's what I meant. 1998 to 2000. I mean.
Yeah, because they won the World Cup 3-0.
And the Euros, that was their
Final.
absolute peak. Yeah.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the Euros. Yeah, I think
That's what I
the
meant.
best.
Yeah, France got knocked out of the World Cup in 2002 in the group stage.
Yeah, I meant 2000. I didn't mean 2002.
So maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, France 98 to 2000.
Although I thought they achieved a bit more than Brazil 98, 94. Because, right, I think South American teams are at a bit of a disadvantage because I value the Euros and the competition in that more than the Copa America. So in 98, I think it was Brazil beat Bolivia.
But Brazil, we're talking about Brazil 1970.
Oh, in that case,
Like
then.
Pele, Garrincha.
Yeah, that was one of the teams where I was like, it's a bit too before my time. But no,
I just saw the what's his name, Carlos Alberto or
Was
something.
Zico
Goal.
in that team?
Nah,
Romario, Rivaldo, were they there?
nah, that was before their time. I think.
It was Felix, Everaldo, Piazza, Brito, Alberto.
I know Gersons was in it.
Rivellino was in it.
You know.
Gerson was in it. Pele was in it.
Was there some Jarzinho? I know that name. I don't know if that was before or after.
Yeah, Jarzinho was the right winger.
Yeah, he's the
And
number 4 heavyweight in the
Alberto,
world.
Carlos Alberto, he scored a goal
Yeah.
in the final.
Oh, Nathan knows.
I just remember Matt telling me about it, the thing. So I looked up a couple days ago, and I remembered it.
So yeah, I'd say them second and Spain first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
fifth, we're going Hungary 1950 to 56. And then we're doing the 1970s 70 to 76 West Germany. In fourth, my eyes. In third, we've got
98 to 2000, La France.
Yep. And in second, we have Brazil 1970 and top Spain 08 to 12.
España.
I
So
think you can juggle
now-
a few about there, but I think we nailed that.
I think maybe cliffhanger, we leave the Gerrard, Lampard, and Scholes debate for next week.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it's planned that.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to leave on one note. The most complete player out of the 3,
Leave now.
Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard was the most complete player out of those 3. Thank you for watching the Great Character Podcast. And
we're gonna end, really?
Guys,
That's
soon.
criminal.
So we can't end like that. We can't end on your opinion and no one else's.
I know, right. Well, I know that you think differently, Nathan, quickly.
Lampard, obviously.
Yeah, I'm saying Fat Frank as well. Big up.
And you're saying Gerrard.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Just saying,
Ooh.
one doesn't support the club and he said Lampard. That's all I got to say.
All right. But could Lampard drag Liverpool through those awful times like Gerrard did? No chance.
Yeah, but they didn't win much in those awful times.
But you know,
Lampard ever won a league
I'm
title?
saying, could Lampard ever
is Lampard ever? I'm just saying
Could
Lampard would never
ever
be in a team
drag
that bad.
Liverpool, that
Yeah.
awful Liverpool team that Gerrard dragged through, could Lampard do that?
Lampard would never be in a team that bad.
Yeah, but he's surrounded by quality players.
Well, you
Gerrard
have to be
did it
good to
all
be
on his
surrounded
own.
by good players.
Gerrard
you can't
Gerrard
hinder
could play
someone
right
from playing
back.
in a good team.
Gerrard
No,
could play right back, he could play CDM, he could play both midfields, he could play left wing, he could play striker, he could play centre forward. I'm sorry, nobody else out of those three.
So can
do
Callum
it.
Patterson. It doesn't mean he's great.
I'm sorry that Steven Gerrard managed to do all that he did, and the reason everybody holds him in such high regard, he was world class in a team that had Jovanovic as left wing, Christian Poulsen next to him, Konchesky as right back. Lampard never ever had to go through that, and I'm
You
not
can't hinder someone for playing in a good team.
but Gerrard's proven why he is the best out of three of them because of that.
This is fascinating that we said we'll leave this until next week, and you give one opinion and it just goes mental.
And we're not even talking about Scholes. Scholes is brilliant. I'd argue Scholes was better than Lampard.
I'd argue Scholes is better than Gerrard.
Really?
Yeah, all right. I'm sorry though, Gerrard. I just don't think. Right, I'm not discrediting Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard's goal-scoring record and his attacking flair was brilliant. He was a brilliant player. He was world class. He's up
He
there.
didn't
It's very
slip
close. But I think what
when he was on the
edited
line of
Gerrard's
winning a
favour.
Premier League title.
He went
Why are you
there.
going by titles? I'm just literally about to say.
Wow.
Right, that's the
He went
scrape in the
there.
barrel there, Nathan. Right. The reason I say Gerrard holds his head up just a tiny bit above is because he played as well as them, scored loads of goals, was as good as world class as he ever was in a team that arguably without him could have been like 15th.
Okay.
That's why I think Gerrard's that just tiny bit level above. That's the only reason. Other than that, it's really hard to split them. But Gerrard took a team. He could get that team out the dodge. Only reason we won the Champions League in 2005, Steven Gerrard. He's the only reason. He could go into any team. He is the hardest worker. He doesn't even need to say that much. He leads by example. He is Captain Fantastico. He is the best out of three of them for that reason. Lampard is brilliant, right? And he was a great player. And so was Scholes. Technically might have been better than Gerrard and Lampard because technically Scholes was a gifted player and he won so much. But none of them had to go through what Gerrard went through. And Gerrard's still in this debate playing in such a bad team. And meanwhile, Lampard and Scholes were winning Premier Leagues after Premier Leagues. And we're still talking about Gerrard.
I don't think that can be a hindrance though. Like you can't say Lampard and Gerrard. Scholes is a completely different player to Gerrard. He wouldn't
No, but you have to admit though, if Gerrard was in a Liverpool team, like this Liverpool team or the team of the last couple of years,
Scholes doesn't
everyone, I think he'd be clear.
Scholes doesn't have the he doesn't have the traits to carry a team. I don't think. Like Gerrard has.
That's
the
why
traits.
Gerrard's better.
Yeah, but he just has the traits. It doesn't mean you're like.
You can be a better player because you drag a team through the mill.
Yeah, but just
that makes you all round. That's what I'm talking about. Gerrard all round. Scholes might technically be a better player. Frank Lampard is
but
better.
Jack Grealish carries a team. You know, like players can carry a team. It doesn't mean you're an incredible player.
Yeah, without.
Do you not think Gerrard was an incredible player then?
Oh my God, I'm not saying that.
Harry was about to say, you said if Gerrard was in this current Liverpool team, he'd be nailed on, cemented the best. That's because he would have won silver.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. And the fact that Gerrard's in
But
this conversation without winning those things proves how good he is. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that because he's in the conversation after playing six.
So who finished highest in the Ballon d'Or rankings as well?
Huh?
I'm pretty sure Lampard finished second one year.
Gerrard's been got the PFA Player of the Year award.
So has Lampard.
Oh.
What year did Lampard win it?
I can't remember. I wasn't into football, but I think he's won it.
I don't think
he's won the UEFA Champions League best thing as well.
But Gerrard's been in those top three as well. Gerrard and Lampard on that scale, the only reason that people say argument, individual accolades, Gerrard and Lampard won way more than Scholes. That's the only another reason people don't think.
That's because Scholes was surrounded by even better players than Lampard.
Scholes was brilliant. That's the thing. We've got to make sure, because we're obviously biased with Liverpool and Chelsea fans. Scholes was a brilliant footballer. He was top quality.
I think if you ask most players who play with Scholes, they say Scholes is the best. Like I watched Ben Foster's, and he was just he's a professional footballer, and he was blown away with how good Scholes was.
Yeah, I watched that as well. But I'm pretty sure if you ask any player from Chelsea's or Liverpool's team, they'd say the exact same about Steven Gerrard. I know that with Gerrard, though, a lot of the Liverpool players say he made you want to play football for that club. He made you want to be better. He made Peter Crouch. Peter Crouch has said it. Gerrard made you want to be a better footballer. You couldn't let him down because he didn't talk to you. He death stared you, basically. He gave you that look, you know, and he made those players better. And that's why we won some things during that period. We wouldn't have.
I don't know who the hardest working is out of both of them. I don't think Scholes is the hardest working.
I think Gerrard. The one thing I would ask though, if you take Lampard out of that Chelsea team, would it still win the Premier League? Would it still win the Champions League? Not Champions League.
That's 20 goals a season out of a team.
Huh?
20 goals a season out of a team.
That's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you take Gerrard out of that Liverpool team, the Hodgson one could have got relegated. Anyway, we're obviously not going to agree on the subject, and I think we've ended up having the debate.
Well, that was great. Leaving it till next week.
Well, we haven't heard what Matt thinks.
What would you like me to say?
What's your opinion?
better.
Yeah, obviously.
Huh? No, but like, why? Why is
for much the same reason that you said. I think because Lampard was fortunate enough to have a load of superstars bought to play alongside him, and Gerrard didn't have that luxury, did he?
But like Lampard always overcame the superstars. Like, you know, they brought him to replace Frank Lampard at the start, and he overcame the superstars.
A lot of the superstars he had around him were, put it this way, he had a back four behind him. A solid back four.
No, but I'm talking about players to replace him. Like there were players they brought in to replace him, and he just
who did you bring in to replace him?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I just know, like, I've read stuff. Like, I wasn't a football fan when I was like in 2006, but
that's the thing. I've watched Gerrard. I even remember him in 2005, 2006. I watched all of that. I've watched Gerrard for years, and he is arguably, he's one of Liverpool's greatest legends, and he wasn't in any Liverpool team that won loads and loads and loads. I think that speaks volumes as him, as a person, as a player as well. He's one of Liverpool's greatest legends, arguably one of the top three, maybe even the greatest. Maybe I've missed the mark there, but in that regard from Liverpool fans, because of how good he was as a player, and he didn't win what these other teams have won in that time. I just think that's why I think he's so great. If you stick him in, that's the weird thing about it, is what could England have done to make that three work? They're all different. They're all different players. Playing Scholes on the left wing or left mid or whatever, what Ericsson did was silly. But could you play Scholes deeper with Gerrard and then Lampard because Lampard, out of all of them, is the best goal scorer, best attacking returns, isn't he? He's clinical.
Yeah.
One thing I would say, Scholes had a hell of a strike on him.
He was probably the best technical player, I'd say.
No, definitely. Gerrard still did have some beautiful passes there.
I just don't know if Gerrard would be as good in a sick team. Like, I don't know if Gerrard could do what
he would.
Could Gerrard, like, I don't know, maybe his legacy is so good because he carried the teams.
Well, yeah, it is, but he could have.
In England, he wasn't great, was he?
He'd go into, other than some of Barcelona, most teams in the world at that time would have taken Gerrard. And they would have taken Lampard as well. But I'm saying, imagine Gerrard goes into that Chelsea team. He would stand out still. Like, you know, when you tried to sign him back in the day.
Yeah.
But I just wonder where his career would have gone after that, if that happened. But I love Steven Gerrard. Like, I can't say that he's like an absolute hero of mine. And he made those years bearable because of his brilliance. He had his moments where he had Torres alongside him for those couple of years. He had Suarez brilliance alongside him for the last few years of his career there. In his last year as a Liverpool player, he won top goal scorer, scoring 15 Premier League goals in his last year. I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm just going to double check. But that's,
You want to get into goal scoring?
no, I'm
against
just not.
Lampard?
That's not what I'm not talking about Lampard now. I'm just saying for Gerrard, how crazy that is in his final year.
Frank Lampard's second to last year. He got 15 goals as well in 28 games.
It's just meant that's the one thing. Where is it? Yeah. Oh no, I got it wrong. 15 goals overall. For 13 goals overall.
9 is last season. Fair play.
Yeah, and then but no, I just think, yeah, it's tough because they're different. I think they're all different, but I'm still obviously you're going to say
scored 12 goals in 21 games for New York City as well. Lampard.
I don't think if you ask a Chelsea fan, they're always going to say Lampard. If you ask a Liverpool fan, they're always going to say Gerrard, and if you ask Man United fan or players, they're always going to say Scholes. It's the people that didn't play for support or play for any of those three.
What's Lewis Sweeney said?
Yeah, Lewis said Lampard, didn't he?
Yeah, I feel like I'd have to do my research on that. I feel like
Did you watch
it
them
for next week? No. What year are we talking here?
Throughout the career.
I'd say 2004 to 2015.
I was 2. I was 2 years old. If we
Yeah, but did you watch them?
Did
you watch them in 2010? 2011?
No. I remember.
When did you really get into football?
Defo 2012, 13.
So you still had a bit.
No, 2013, 14, I'd say.
The end of their era.
My earliest Premier League win, seeing a Premier League win I can remember was that City Aguero. That big like Aguero.
Gee, that's the earliest you. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Mine's even later. Mine's a flipping Champions League game, Chelsea's final. And I remember in 2010 the Frank Lampard goal, which wasn't a goal against Germany, but
yeah, that's probably my earliest football memory, I'd say.
You have to watch. You can't think Scholes is the best by watching highlight reels because unfortunately he didn't score many goals, get many assists, so he won't have big highlight reels.
It's like Busquets,
Lampard will have the best highlight reels because he scored more goals. He will look better. That's what highlight.
I think Gerrard will look better because he scored better goals, Gerrard.
Yeah, so I don't know. You had to watch them at the time. That's what I'm going off. I'm going off my memory of watching both of them from like 2006 maybe. I remember both of them playing at their best. Do you remember when they were in their primes? When did you start watching Premier League football?
Premier League football, about 2006, I think.
Ah, yeah, you remember then.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
When did you?
Huh?
Harry, when did you start?
Oh, I've been watching pretty much since I was like 4. I probably didn't watch earlier, but I definitely remember the 2006 final. I remember snippets of the Istanbul final in 2000.
I remember 2006 World Cup.
Oh, I remember that, yeah. Definitely.
Really? Wow, that's mad.
Yes. Trinidad and Tobago. Peter Crouch.
My primary school put that on.
Yes.
My primary school. Yeah, they put it on in the school hall.
You guys weren't even at school at that point, were you? Nathan and Lewis.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I remember football then. I have all the shirts from that era as well, from being a kid. Like, I adored football at that time. I adored it. Wow. I've always loved. I was put in my first Liverpool kit at the age of 6 months or a year, and just never looked back.
How come you don't support Sheffield Wednesday, Matt?
Trying to think when the first time I went to watch Wednesday was.
My first game was probably Stevenage.
It was they played Man City, and it was pre-Man City getting taken over. So,
should we?
Probably about 2006, 2007. It was in the FA Cup, so it might have been January 2007.
I've watched Sheffield Wednesday. I've been in their away end, top quality. Yeah. Right, I think we've come to the end of our debate now. And it ended up being a lot longer and a lot fierier than we thought. You know, obviously, from we've seen in past episodes, I get quite passionate. And I don't mean to put that on any of you guys, and I'm really sorry. So, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all the support. We'll be back again next week, same old. So we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.